Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing on how to be classy and sophisticated as a godly young woman. Growing up, when I heard this term being classy and sophisticated, I always felt as though I had to be prim and proper and be fake, to be quite frank. And I had to put on a persona and be something that I'm not, that I would not have been true and authentic to who I am as a person. Now that I have grown and matured, I understand that being classy and sophisticated is just a matter of understanding proper protocols and etiquette. It's all about being intentional and thoughtful about the way you behave, think, act, dress, and how you interact with others. Now, I know that all of us, we grow up differently from different backgrounds, and the environment and the culture that we have at home will be different and varying. But there are generalized basic things as women that we ought to practice. I know our home is our comfort zone, it's our safe place, and we are free to be ourselves and just be laid back. But practice makes permanent, and sometimes what happens is that we bring our bad habits or the things that is normal home, we do it in public and we do it on the outside, and it's not appropriate. So today I just wanted to share with you guys some tips and some traits of how you can be more feminine and just carry about yourself as the lady that you ought to be. My name is Lois Raymond. Thank you so much for joining and stopping by and visiting my channel. I truly do appreciate it. For all of you who have recently subscribed to my channel, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you so much for your love and your support. I know that I have not been posting for a while, and I do apologize for that, but I am back on and I want to be more consistent. Please click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you will be notified of it. You know that my purpose of this channel is just to help you and serve you navigate and blossom through life as a godly woman, wife, and mother. Before I start to give you the tips, I really want to highly recommend someone that I follow on Instagram that does a lot of stuff on etiquette and biblical femininity and womanhood. I have learned so much from this woman. I will have her links right here. You can head over to her page and look at some of the stuff and just gain more knowledge and insight on how you can be more feminine and more graceful as a godly young woman. And I love it because she is a Christian and she gives it from a biblical perspective. So the very first point is that a woman of class and sophistication does not use obscene language and swears and just use profanity. You know, it saddens me and it's very disappointing when you see a beautiful woman that looks so beautiful on the outside until she opens her mouth, and the words that comes out of her mouth is just foul language. I mean, automatically she just begins to look ugly because what is inside her, when it comes out, it does not make her look good in no fashion or form. As ladies, we ought to be dignified in our presentation, even in conversations, even though it may get a little bit heated and steamy, yet still having grace and poise. That even when we are upset or angry, we address the situation and don't attack the person. That our tone and our mannerisms and our attitude is not aggressive and harsh and violent. But yet still, even in situations and circumstances where we are angry, we are still calm and we are still able to maintain our composure. Number 2, a woman of class and sophistication dresses appropriately for every occasion. When I am going to the beach, when I'm going on a date with my husband, and when I'm going to church, there's a particular way that I dress. And we want to be mindful of the event or the occasion that we go in, that we do not underdress, even though it's better to be overdressed, but we always want to make sure that we are dressed suitably and appropriately for every occasion. Even as well, understanding the culture of where you are going. If you're going to a church, understanding the culture of that organization and conforming to it. If you know that they cover their heads or they do not wear pants, respecting the rules of that organization and staying within the guidelines, even with your dress code. You see, the thing about it, as classy young women, we do not want to offend anyone or distract anyone. And that's why it's so important, you guys, that we allow the Holy Spirit to help us, even in our dressing. Sometimes before I leave to go to church, I will look in the mirror and the Holy Spirit will convict me. Lois, that is way too short. That is way too tight. Lois, you should change that. When I yield myself to the leading of the Holy Spirit, you get great results. Because sometimes when I'm disobedient, you will go to an event, the Holy Spirit convicted you and tell you don't wear it, you still wear it, and then at the event you have to be pulling on your skirt, you're feeling uncomfortable, you cannot receive what the person is saying because you're always just mindful of how you look or your attire. But just allowing the Holy Spirit to help you even in your dressing is a huge tip. As well as knowing your style and being comfortable in your own skin and in your fashion. Not being pressured by influencers and the latest trends to run on it because that's what's the thing now. But being confident in your own style and fashion and in your own personality, and wearing your style and your fashion with grace and poise, and being confident in your fashion identity. The third trait of a classy, sophisticated lady is her conversations. She's mindful of her conversations. She does not engage in gossip and tearing down people's name and character, or as I like to call it, assassinating people's character. But she stands up for truth and she defends the truth. She does not dominate conversations where she is controlling the conversation and is talking and rambling and just going off and no one cannot get a point across. Or she is constantly interrupting a conversation where you're talking and where someone is trying to give their point across and you cannot wait for them to finish their point and you just have to come in and always interrupt. I have to admit, sometimes I am guilty of that with my husband. Sometimes he's talking and I so don't want to forget my point that I'm constantly interrupting him. And sometimes I have to catch myself and say, Lois, hold up. Wait, listen, wait till he's finished and then speak. Or you are in a conversation and the conversation is all about you, all the things that you've done and what you have accomplished, and it just is glorifying self. It is not ladylike at all. Or while someone is having a conversation with you, you're on your phone, you're not giving them your undivided attention. It's so rude and disrespectful. At least you can have the common courtesy to say, hey, could you just give me a minute? Could you excuse me? I just want to do something. I need to send this message out. When she's in a forum, when a discussion is taking place, she's able to give intellectual and a different, unique perspective to a topic, to a debate, to a discussion. And even in a debate, even in an argument, still having poise and grace that you can still get your point across clearly and firmly, but yet still in such a skillful way that no one feels offended or attacked. Having a teachable and learning spirit, ladies, not thinking that I have arrived and I have all the knowledge, but no, always having that spirit that is teachable. And that's why we always, as young women, have to constantly be educating ourselves and reading books and audio books and tapes and documentaries and the Bible, just getting a reservoir of knowledge so that when the opportunity comes, when the opportunity arises and a discussion is taking place, that we can add value to a topic, we can add value to a conversation with grace and with poise. And lastly, the fourth sign of a classy, sophisticated young woman is that she respects men. She values men. She speaks highly of men. She honors men. She honors her father. She honors her husband. She honors her leaders, those are in authority. She knows how to submit. She knows how to yield herself. She knows how to speak to them and how to serve them with excellence and with integrity and with dignity. It's so distasteful, and I hate it. Sometimes you will be out and you would hear how wives will talk to their husbands in such a disrespectful manner, with such attitude and aggressive tone. And sometimes they would say, well, this is how we speak to each other. And okay, that's okay. If at home that's how you speak to your husband and he's okay with that, no problem. But when you're in public, people are looking at you, and you want that your life, that your marriage, that your relationship be an example that other people could look on and pattern after it. So just being mindful of the men in your life and respecting them, not disrespecting them, but honoring them. This is a huge sign of a classy young woman. So guys, I hope that these tips has helped you on your journey in just being more classy and sophisticated as a godly young lady. We may not get all of it right, but at least we are intentional about our attitude and our behavior, and we are on the path of perfecting. We are on the path of maturity. We are on the path of really working on ourselves and being the best version of who we can be. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please remember to subscribe and like, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye everyone.